What is good, y'all? Welcome to Let's Cap. We are gonna have a pretty full day today. We got Chris B capping coming through to break down the WNBA Commissioner's Cup with me. We also got Munaf coming back from yesterday to break down some MLB live capping. And yesterday, no WNBA obviously, but we live capped some MLB games. Did pretty well. We locked in on a specific game yesterday, the Royals and the Marlins. We pretty much won every bet that we talked about on that game. Some other bets that we talked about yesterday was the Mariners game and the first five under, I believe. The Blue Jays was one look too, but they ended up losing, I think, in the ninth inning or whatever it was. But our main plays were on that Royals and Marlins game, and we killed it. So hopefully we could do it again today. Um, Chris is going to be a little bit late, but I'm just going to dive into the WNBA real quick. Let's get to it. I'm going to bring up the banner and the screen here. I forgot to do the banner. Give me 1 second. All right. So I'm going to share my screen here. All right, so we have the Commissioner's Cup today. That we got the links. Visiting the Liberty here. -6 is the current line. The total at 165. I think some of it has to do with Vandersloot coming back into the lineup today. The other part was, I believe, Laney is questionable, but I mean, I think that there's a chance that she plays today's game as well. I think they're going to need both of them to help with the depth against this Lynx team because the Lynx are a very deep team here, especially with their bigs, the forwards. Actually, in both, I mean they have a good squad coming from the backcourt as well, with Heidemann coming off of the bench. So I mean they're pretty deep overall, to be honest. So Liberty are going to need Sloot and Laney coming back. Some situational notes. They have the rest advantage. The Lynx do. We also have a couple of baller systems on the Lynx side. The Liberty do have an in-season revenge, a double-digit in-season revenge as well. They did play on the 25th of last month, lost by 17. You can see the total is 166.5. It went under by a huge margin. And that's the reason why we saw the total come down to like 158 at open. But it's jumped all the way up to 165, and we'll talk about that a little bit later here. Looking at the schedule, you can see the Lynx here been home for quite a bit, and then this is their first game on the road. Liberty have been traveling a lot or more consistently. They've been playing a lot of games. They just came off a back-to-back as well. We'll get my guy Chris here real quick. What up, Chris? I don't hear you. I think I don't hear you. I'll just keep going here. But they've been traveling a bit. They've been playing a lot lately too. You can see that they're just coming off of that back-to-back. So it looks like they've played. I mean, Minnesota's only played one game since the 20th. This is their fourth game for the Liberty. So could be some fatigue on the Liberty side here. Looking at some ATS splits. I think you're on mute, Chris. You can keep testing it. Looking at the ATS splits here, you can see the Lynx 12-4 ATS on the season. The Liberty kind of struggling there, especially when they're considered at home.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you now.
Okay.
Got you. All right. So Liberty 1-8 here, away on the road. Lynx 5-1 ATS as a dog. They've been covering first half and the full game, and off a win, they tend to continue their momentum. From a total perspective, first half unders on the Lynx side, nothing significant for the full game. But Liberty at home have been more of an over team, especially even as a favorite too. But we'll dive into that a little bit too, because I want to show you guys what it looks like when they face a non-conference opponent. Looking at some of the stats here, we have two very good defensive teams. The Lynx play at a much slower pace than the Liberty. well, not much slower, but from a ranking perspective, they are a little bit slower. Both very efficient offensively. You can see their effective field goal percentage here, 1 and 2 in the league. Both get to the free throw line a lot as well. One thing that the Liberty do struggle with is the turnovers and forcing turnovers. So this is going to be a big spot for the Lynx to try and take advantage of, because they're first in the league in points off turnovers here, and second in limiting it. The other thing is on the opposite fast breaks, both first and second in fast breaks, so they know how to score in transition. But the Lynx transition defense is a lot better than the Liberty here. When we look within the arc, the Liberty do score efficiently within the paint, but the Lynx are one of the better defensive teams in the league as far as paint field goal percentage allowed. You can see Liberty is first, but Lynx are 12th, dead last in paint attempts. So it's not going to be too much of a problem for them that they're facing this Liberty paint defense. Mid range is where the Lynx do have some success. Second in mid range field goal percentage, third in mid range attempts, and you can see that the Liberty mid range defense is second to last in the league. And when we look at 3-point shooting, both very good. First and three above the break three, first and corner three percentage. So the Lynx really rely on that 3-point shot. The corner threes might be a spot where the Lynx can take advantage of, and then Liberty can defend that above the break three pretty well. So it's really going to be on the corner three spot here. The way that I took this game is the Lynx on the spread, and then also the under, and I got it at 165. Oh, sorry, 160, 163. I got it last night, so I have a bad number. But I still like the number. I still like the under here. And one thing to mention too, the one game that they faced each other earlier this season, you can see the pace of play was very low. Obviously, I think with the Liberty, they're going to come back up a little bit offensively and on the defensive side of the ball. So we expect them to bounce back a little bit here, but I do trust the Lynx defense a little bit more, because if you look at the last 5 games, you can see that the Lynx continue to be the best defensive rated team in the league, while the Liberty are in the middle of the pack. Before we get into, or I want to dive into some SDQL stuff in a little bit, Chris, but what are your thoughts on this one here?
Yeah, I agree. All right, so you hit. I think you hit every point. You hit the rest advantage, which is big in my opinion here, just because even though both teams, in my opinion, have played a pretty easy schedule, the Lynx just played a lot more. They played a lot less games. So on top of having a 1-day rest advantage, where they played on Saturday, and the Lynx had the Liberty had to play on Saturday and Sunday. So you got I don't know if it's a 5th game in 7 nights, but I know it's at least a 4th and 6th for the Liberty. Opponents have been pretty easy with back-to-back wins over the Sparks before taking care of Atlanta as well. But like you said, Minnesota's been at the crib. I see, like they had 4 straight home games, so they literally traveled one time in the last week and a half from Minnesota to UBS today. They traveled yesterday, and that was a big factor in it as well. I know it's a revenge game, and I know the Lynx can struggle to take care of the basketball at times. They also give up a bunch of offensive rebounds, but outside of that, man, this team, they look really, really good. I see they look really good. So I'm right there with you. Plus the 5.5, plus 6 now. I think you can get it at, and I kind of wanted to wait, see what the best number was. Did we get any updated news? Actually, I've been monitoring a little bit, but I didn't see anything about Sloot and about Benaji Hamilton.
Yeah, I think Sloot is probable, and I think Laney is still questionable, but we saw the line.
I would love if Sloot played. Yeah, I would love if Sloot played and Benaji Laney sits. That would be even better.
Yeah, I think the line movement is telling us that people are expecting them to play, right? Because obviously the total is moving up with Sloot. She tends to run that offense pretty well and push pace. She's also a liability on defense as well. And then obviously Laney being questionable, I think that could. If she's official, that could probably bring it down a little bit, the total, just because she's a more defensive-minded player, and that's going to help a lot for them. But when we come to like the SDQL part, right? If you look at the Liberty as home favorites, and you can see this on Give Me the Dog as well, but as home favorites, what is this? 1 and 1-8 on the season ATS, right? But one thing that I also want to mention here is if they put them against a non-conference opponent, they're 0-4, right? So they're struggling to cover against non-conference opponent. I think actually just let me just put this non-conference in general. So non-conference in general, it's 1-6 against those teams. The other piece of it too, if you look at the link side, and if you look at them as a dog, their defense is solid in these spots, and they're playing really well against the spread as well. So you see them here 6-1 against the spread, and if you look at their opponent's team total, was it 6-1 to the under? So defense shows up, with the links when they're the underdog, they cover in that spot, and the total opposite for the Liberty. So just kind of rocking with the trends, rocking with what we see with the stats. I think the whole Vandersloot and Nigel Laney stuff kind of come into play with where the total and the line is moving, and I don't totally agree with that. So, it would be links and the under for me.
Yep, and just to piggyback off of that, RC, I played and I talked about this yesterday when I did the video on my channel. The Liberty team total under, the number was 83.5, I think is what it was. You mentioned it already. I think you said 6-1 to the under when they were dogs, the opponent's team total for the Lynx. But also they've only given up this amount of points once in all of their games through Give Me the Dog. They've only given up 84 points once this season, outside of that overtime game, which was the second game of the season against Seattle. I think the Aces were the only team that scored that many points against them. So I know that the Liberty's defense has not been that great, but Commissioner's Cup, I mean, it's a lot on the line. Both of these teams are playing for, charity. They're playing for funds as well. Of course, there's, cash, I think it's what, 500,000. Yeah. So we do expect to see defense. I went back and looked at it. I think this is only the fourth Commissioner's Cup so far. They are 2-1 to the under so far. Last year, we saw the Aces get smoked by the Liberty in that game. And that game was an under game. I think it was like 82-63. So it went well underneath the total. Yeah. And you just expect the defense. This is going to be a playoff type atmosphere. And I know that the Liberty play fast. I know they score a lot of points in transition. I think they are number one in fast break points over the last 5 games. But the Minnesota hangs their hats on defense. So that's why I like the Lynx plus the 5.5. And that's also why I like the Liberty team total to go under in this spot.
Love it. Yeah, I know 2 of the 3 Commissioner's Cups have gone under. Real quick before we move over to MLB, Austin, one of our guys here at the Money Baller, did drop a whole preview here. We Want the Money is based off of what I think it was Nafisa Coyer. She quoted, that was a quote from Nafisa Coyer. We want the money. They really want to win this game.
Money, okay.
Yeah, Liberty also won it, but if you guys have the Money Baller account, you should be able to access this preview from Austin. With that said, we're gonna hit up.
If they win, RC, I'm gonna put that on the T-shirt with her. With
we want the money.
Yeah,
I love it. Yeah, Chris, we're gonna we're gonna move into MLB. I know you don't touch on that, but before you leave, you want to drop your top play for the Commissioner's Cup.
Yeah, absolutely, man. So we were aligned. I said, give me the +6. If you still can get it. I also like the full game to go under. I think it's still some 166s out there. Looks like it's dropping back down now. So I agree there. I was just trying to see how high it was going to get. Top play is a Liberty team total to go under. I just don't see them scoring 84 points against a defense that's going to be super locked in. So potentially both teams go under their team total. That's why I like the full game under. But I'll take the team total under for the Liberty and the +6. If you can get it, you still can get it.
Dope. I appreciate it, Chris. We'll get you on again. I don't know, maybe if you're available tomorrow or whenever the WNBA is on, man. We'd love to have you on.
Appreciate you, today. Best of luck, bro. Absolutely. Best of luck to the chat.
All right. Munaf, what's good, bro?
What's going on, man? We got to get Chris into MLB, man. I don't know what's going on with him.
I think he'll get there eventually. But he's locked in on the W right now. Let's move into the MLB. I know yesterday we had a pretty good day. I ended up getting there with you on the Mariners first 5 under as well that we talked about, and then obviously we locked in on that Marlins Royals game pretty well. I have not bet a single thing in the MLB today, so we're gonna try and dive into it. I did send my whole lean list out to you. Hopefully we align
Yeah.
on some stuff, but let's get into it. What's to the chat, if you guys want to drop any of the games you guys want to break down, just put them in there and we'll get into it. I'll share my screen here. Let's get to the MLB. What was one game? What was one game that you dove into that you actually bet? You know?
Yeah, I was looking at the first 5, either under or backing the Braves in that game against the Cardinals. I mean, I think, when you pull up, the data on the Money Baller, and also when we look on Give Me the Dog, I mean, Ronaldo Lopez has been absolutely lights out for the Atlanta Braves, especially first 5 as well. It's been trending towards the under, and I know Kyle Gibson, the Cardinals starter, has also been trending towards their first 5 under as well. So I wanted to get there with that. He hasn't got a whole bunch of Ronaldo Lopez hasn't given up a whole heck of a lot in that first 5 as well. And I think that Kyle Gibson has been, pretty well in first 5 as well. There's going to be a point where he does tail off. Maybe that's after the All-Star break, but right now he's really locked in. So that was when I was looking at first 5 under. I think I was at 4.5.
Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, looking at it right now, so we have the rating system that does like the Braves here pretty strongly, mainly because of they have, it looks like they have the advantage at starting pitcher, bullpen, and team batting. We do have a baller system here that backs the Braves. One thing to look at here is the last 5 starts. Lopez, like you mentioned, I mean, he's been playing really well, pitching really well. Yeah. Gibson's coming off a strong start here. If you look at the splits, this is exactly what you're calling out right here. The first 5 under, just the under in general with Lopez, right? Ronaldo Lopez 2-11, 11-2 to the under. Both first 5 and full game, you could look at him as a road favorite. 5-0 to the under first 5 and the full game, and this is for Gibson 2-0 to the under as a home dog in the first 5, 10-3 to the under in general. If you're a nerfy better, both of these guys in their respective spots, home dog and road favorite, have not given up a run yet. But if you dive into let's look at the last 30 days here. Last 30 days, both of these teams kind of struggling offensively. They do have a lot of power, but they're not seeing the ball. Right? They both are striking out a lot. They're not getting a lot of walks here, and both of these pitchers pretty strong as far as like Ks per 9. I mean, Ronaldo is pretty, I would say, pretty consistent here. I think both of these guys are pretty consistent. I don't see too much of a negative regression on either. From a bullpen perspective, this does point to the Braves. So, I mean, from a side perspective, it would be Braves or nothing. And the trends really do point to that first 5 under. Let's look into that. What's the number on that first 5 under?
I got a 4.5.
4.5. All right, so Ronaldo Lopez, in his starts, first 5, averaging less than 3.5 per game in the first 5. Let's look at him specifically on the road. On the road, under 2 runs per game. So he's not getting run support. Man, that's crazy.
I think it's the same thing for Kyle Gibson as well.
Home, been to the under 4 at home, averaging under 4 in the first 5 at home. Let's look at him as a dog. As a dog in general, regardless of where he's at, first 5 under is 6-1, averaging under 3 runs per game. Man, I like that. Hold on. Did you bet it?
Yeah, I already bet it at 4.5. I took the under first 5.
Red Sox, Braves. Sorry, not Red Sox. Braves, Cardinals. Under first 5. What do you think about from the side perspective, though? Would you think it's the Braves?
Yeah, I was looking at Braves first 5 run line, or if you just make the money line as well. I want to say it was at plus 105 for their first 5 on the run line. Let me just double check that line hasn't moved. Because I have a lot of faith in Ronaldo Lopez. He's been doing really, really well. You make the argument he's probably been their best pitcher.
Yeah.
Outside of maybe Chris Sale, him and Chris Sale have been good, but yeah, if you want to take the run line for the Braves in the first 5 minus half, it's at even money. Or if you want to play the money line, definitely shop around. I do see around minus 127 up to all the way up to minus 135 right now for the first 5 money line for the Braves.
All right. Man, I mean, initially I was looking towards the Braves, but that first 5 under looks a lot better than.
Yeah, I feel more confident about the first 5 under 4.5. Yeah,
I like it. All right, let's do it. I'm about to rock with that. Did anyone drop any games? No. Let's look at, what do I have here? I want to look at the A's because I want to get there with them for some reason. Have you dove into this one? The A's and the Angels?
didn't. Yeah, I haven't dove into that one.
Okay, all right. Let's look at this because the Angels are home favorites, but our rating system really likes the A's here by a big margin. So they're going out. They're coming off of that loss yesterday to Canning, and looking at the last 5 starts, Spence, he's kind of going back and forth. Right, you see that 4-2, 4-2, giving up a couple home runs. Did pitch 6 innings here, but if you look at Tyler Anderson, man, he's been dominant in his last 5 starts, right? But if we look at, we'll dive into some of the numbers below. But I mean, Spence obviously this 0-4 doesn't look good. Tyler Anderson not that much greater at 2-3. The A's haven't seen a lot of left-handed pitchers, but they are 2-0 in the last 30 days here. The total seems like it's kind of tough because it's you don't see any significant advantage anywhere here. If we look at the splits here, the Angels' offense is even worse than the A's, right? Overall in the last 30 days, both of them not really that great. But when they do get contact, their barrel rate, their hard hit rate is much better than the Angels, right? And we know Tyler Anderson, he's not a strikeout pitcher. He is giving up a lot of walks, so that should balance out a little bit. And this is the thing that really says, there's that negative regression coming for Tyler Anderson at some point, right? That 2.4 ERA, the xFIP, and the FIP up above 5. Bullpen though is something that is scary. So I was thinking like A's in the first 5 in some way, or even just in overtime game in general. Like if I know the offense don't look great, but I mean this looks like a pitcher that they can get to since he's not a strikeout artist or anything like that. So the 2 ways that I was looking at it was the A's or the A's team total over type of game. So I don't know, man. Like I just like diving into the numbers with the rating system showing such a huge advantage as for a team as a dog. That was the only ways that I could look. What are your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, I'd be curious to see RC how the Angels do after a win. I feel like they're just not a team that puts like strings of wins together.
Yeah, they're 9-21 following a win.
You trim it down to like and home.
2-11, and let's just say PO team equals O team. 2-7. So is that first 5? Yeah. And then you can see that bullpen just giving it up right after.
Yeah, and they're barely not even scoring, maybe not even a run, where they're giving up about 2.5. Yeah. If you want to go like plus half for the A's in the first 5, I mean it'll be juice. I think probably like minus 135, minus 140. But I couldn't talk you off of taking them in the first 5 either, money line, or even a full game. I couldn't talk you off of either one.
So looking at the A's off a loss facing the same team, They do go over a little bit in that next game. 13 and 22 straight up, though.
Yeah. I mean, they're covering the +1.5 run line. I know that's going to be juiced like crazy, though, but.
Yeah, that would be.
Let me see.
They've lost a bunch of in a row in that spot. They're going against a lefty. Because they haven't faced a lefty a lot, right?
No. The +1's around -150.
First starting lefty. Damn, man, I feel like I'm forcing it if I take it. But I just feel like it's such a huge advantage on the rating system. Because typically when we track these fives here are hitting at like a 60% rate. Yeah. And to be able to get that at a dog price just seems like I should just go for it. But not everything's lining up. But I would look towards that way. Let's see if anyone dropped. Justin actually took the A's. So
yeah,
he mentioned he's in alignment there. Okay. Man, I still want to try and get there. I'll probably think about it more after the show.
You take a look at if you want to get a Blue Jays and Red Sox. I know Apollo mentioned it, but Pirates and Red Sox. Sorry, Pirates and Reds. Mitch Keller and Hunter Green on the mound. I was looking at their first 5 under as well, but the weather is a little bit of a concern with temperatures. It's getting warmer, and I think there's a wind factor as well. But I was trying to get there with the first 5 under.
Got it. All right, so Reds favorite at home. Keller and Green. We have the rating system likes the Reds here. They've been at home for a little bit. This is their first series on the road. They gave up 11 yesterday. So Keller, then he's been pretty good. He's been pretty good lately. Green is coming off a strong start here. All right, looking at last 30 splits. First 5 pretty even, but you could see it seems like the Cincinnati's bullpen might be giving it up afterwards. Actually, so looking at the Reds versus right-handed pitchers, they've actually been a strong under team at home. So if you put home favorite and home dog together, they've been in a strong under team at home. In that first 5, that's 7-2-2 to the under at home in the last 30 days versus right-handed pitchers. But kind of the opposite here for the Pirates. Let's look at the batting edge to the Reds as far as offense goes. Starting pitcher matchup, slight edge to Keller. Maybe some negative regression coming on his way, but then this is kind of iffy for under first 5.
Can you look at Keller and Hunter Green head to head?
Yeah. Let's remove that. 3-0 straight up. First 5 under 4 runs. What is the total? First 5 total.
I saw the full game was 9, so I'm probably sure getting to 5. Let me see. First 5. 4.5.
Let's look at him real quick. This season. Mitch Keller as a road dog. And he's been killing it as a road dog. 5-0 straight up.
Yeah.
First 5, right? It's like right there, dude. Like 4.5-ish, 4.4.
Yeah. I was leaning more towards the Pirates full game as well. They've been actually pretty good in, I think, coming off of a loss. Let me double check that.
Someone mentioned, okay, so, and O team equals Reds. All right, so Keller on the road versus the Reds. He's giving it up. 4.5 in the first 5. That's interesting.
That's 4-1-1 to the over as well.
Yeah. I'm probably gonna stay away from this one. This one seems interesting. The Reds won 3 in a row. I mean, but they don't see each other often because of that.
No, they're in the same division. They'll see each other. I mean, maybe
I meant sorry,
but
Keller. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, that's interesting. I don't know. What are you? So you were leaning towards the under?
I was leaning towards the first 5 under, but the weather really does make me nervous. And it feels like
this is gross too.
Yeah, that's the
like
part that's
7
making
runs.
me nervous.
That's nasty.
I'll probably be staying away.
Yeah. Let's move on to a different game here. Let's do. Someone mentioned Blue Jays and Red Sox.
Jays and Red Sox, yeah.
Oh, Jays. Yeah, Jays and Red Sox. I think I had a lean on this one. Where's Toronto? There you go. All right, so we got Gausman and Bayo. Red Sox with the edge on the rating system here, mainly because of the bullpen. So they've been on the road for a little bit. First series back home for the Red Sox. Red Sox did win yesterday. This was the come from behind win, right? Because we were talking about Toronto. Yeah, man, they gave it up. That's crazy.
There was 6-2, I think.
Yeah. All right, so Gausman 2 straight starts where he's given up at least 1 home run and 3 runs. Bayo coming off of a nice start. He hasn't been struggling though.
Yeah,
overall.
the walks are a concern for him big time.
Yeah, right there, 2-3-3-2. That's pretty consistent. Looking at the last 30 splits here, looking towards an over type game here. Right-handed, or so Blue Jays versus starting right-handed pitchers, 0-6, and the Red Sox 5-2.
Mm-hmm.
As a road dog, as a dog in general, they're 0-9 versus starting right-handed pitcher. That's pretty crazy. And then as a favorite in general, they're 9-3 straight up for the Red Sox versus starting right-handed pitchers. The bats to the Red Sox here, they do strike out a lot at a high rate, but Gausman isn't that big of a strikeout pitcher. There is some room here that says potential positive regression for Bayo.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then a little bit of negative regression for Gausman, but not much at all. You're probably going to stay consistent there. And the bullpen, definitely the edge to the Red Sox by a big margin. It would be Red Sox or nothing, dude. I mean, just the splits and the stats kind of point in that direction. You already
know it's Red Sox or nothing. I'm not betting.
Red Sox can do. Yeah. Damn, they fucking let us down though yesterday. That was a good spot yesterday. Red Sox, man. This has to be. What's the line here? Oops.
Let's see.
Red Sox. It's still around -120.
Yeah, it's around right around -120. What do you think about the over in the game?
You said the over in that game?
Yeah.
You think Gausman gives up a bunch?
I want to say historically he hasn't been very good against the Red Sox. But it also comes down to the bullpens as well. I mean, you meant that Jay's bullpen we know it's not very good. And I think Kevin Gausman just on the road in general. I want to say he was 6-2 to the 5-2 to the over in his road starts this season, and 4-1-2 towards the over in the first 5 innings.
All right, so his last 6 starts against the Red Sox over.
Yeah.
right there. And even the last matchup that's earlier this season, and they faced each other. Okay. What about on the road in Boston? 3 straight overs. Yeah, over makes sense. Overs do make sense. I know they're banned, right, Mitch?
Mitch banned him last year, man. He knows.
Oh man. Okay. I can only look towards Red Sox. Over makes a lot of sense too, though. Maybe focus in on the team total over, like what.
Yeah, Tasha
said,
pointed
right?
that out. Yeah, over 4.5.
Yeah,
that's
a good call out. That's a good one. Maybe I'll switch over to that. Red Sox team total over. All right, let's see what else. What other games do we have? Toasty Jays team total over. God, Jesus. Oh my God. Okay, maybe the full game over in general. What other games was there? I think someone mentioned New York.
Subway Series, Yankees and Mets. I think it's Garrett Cole today, but it's only been a second start of the season.
Yeah, I think there's not enough data for the rating system, so that's why it blanked out. We can dive into this one though. So we got Cole, second start of the season. Peterson, he's got a little bit of extra rest here, and that could throw him off a little bit. But 6 innings pitched, only 4 starts too. Inconsistent with the K's, so I don't. That's interesting to see there. We look at the splits: 3-0, 3-0-1 in the first 5 for Peterson, 3-1 on the full game. Both over pitchers though, so far. Yankees versus left-handed pitchers on the road, 3-0 straight up in the last 30 days. When it comes
Peterson's, to he's right-handed, right? I thought Peterson was a lefty. I could be wrong.
Is Peterson is a lefty?
No, I'm probably wrong. Let me double check. Maybe I'm thinking
Peterson should be a lefty, right? Let me know if you see otherwise.
Let me see. I thought he was.
Bats edge to the Mets here. They do strike out. Yankees strike out at a higher rate, but Peterson's definitely not.
Yeah, he's lefty.
Pitcher. He is lefty. Okay, good.
Yeah.
Right now, I mean, obviously, it looks like I would say it's just pretty even, but I mean, historically, Cole should be the better pitcher. Matchup wise, for the bullpen, I would say it's pretty even here. Slight edge to the Mets.
Mets team total is 3. Oh, give me that over then.
Team total over. You don't think he's gonna for the Mets?
Yeah, I don't think. I still need to see a couple more starts out of Garrett Cole before I can start backing him.
This guy has died in his Yankees, man. Yeah. You probably bet. I'm pretty sure I know what his bet is. It's probably Yankees first 5. It's probably Yankees first 5. Toast does say Mets team total over. Cole not 100%. Makes sense.
Yeah, it's at 3.5.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that Yankees bullpen, I mean, you have the numbers. They haven't been very good either.
No, not at all. I want to see. Let me see them against lefties on the full season right now. So Yankees on the full season versus starting lefties, and they don't see them out a lot at all.
Yeah, they really don't have a lot, especially in that division either, in their AL East.
Mm-hmm. But they do
implications in this game. You have slight wind blowing out to the left center at around 8 miles an hour, but nothing significant.
Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna mess with this game. This one doesn't look convincing at all. But I can see where you guys are going with that Mets team total over. You said it's only 3?
It's around 3.5, depending on your book. Yeah, you probably get a 3 juice, 3.5, maybe flat.
No, I'm not gonna bet this one. I got a couple more in me, so let's do one that I want to try and get on. So I think Twins was one. Twins. Did we go over Braves? We didn't, right?
Yeah, we did Braves.
Twins. Oh, we did Braves. Yeah. Oh yeah, the under. Okay. Twins, Mariners,
Nationals.
Did
I
you
know
take
you and I
Dodgers
both
run
like.
line?
That's the one I wanted to bring up as well. I think you and I talked to somebody about this yesterday. It's like if the White Sox were going to get one from the Dodgers, so it's probably going to be that game, the first game yesterday, where they had their best pitcher on the mound. But I mean, Bobby Miller hasn't been very good either. But Chris Flexen, I mean, he's fade material as well. So
yeah.
I mean, if you want to dive into it,
I think White Sox versus right-handed pitchers is just straight fade, right? Like, I mean, we'll look at it here, but all right. So let's pull in. All right, so we got Miller and Flexen. Dodgers heavy favorites here. The rating system aligned with that, with the Dodgers, obviously, and then they got shut out yesterday. The White Sox did. Looking at the last 5 starts, I mean, you mentioned Bobby Miller kind of struggling. This is going to be his second start back off of that kind of layoff right there. Flexen did look good in his last one against Houston. They did end up losing that game.
Chris Flexen has lost.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was going to mention that his home starts, RC, I think they've lost every single one by 2 or more runs, except for one game for Chris Flexen at home.
Is that right? Chris Flexen? Oh, starter. Starter Chris Flexen. Yeah, 1-8.
Yeah.
And yeah, so
they're almost getting
all of them
up
by at least 2 runs. Yeah, all of them by at least 2 runs, except for that win. Damn, that's crazy.
So if you think Dodgers win, you might as well just take it -1.5. If you want to
run line.
-2.5.
Yeah, I mean, even here, if you look at the run line here, 1-8. And you would think, yeah, okay. So let's dive into that a little bit more. So, Flexing here as a road favorite, 0-3 though. That's kind of nasty. Versus right-handed pitchers, 15-46, dude. Like, how do you 15-46 versus right-handed pitchers on the season here? Let me pull last 30 days for the stats. The offense significantly on the Dodgers side. Damn, Bobby Miller's numbers is gross.
Yeah, that's a setback. So maybe you just take like a Dodgers team total over.
Team total over. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because even here you can see negative regression coming right there. Well, what's the Dodgers team total? Damn, that's probably like 5.5.
It's probably 5.5. Yeah, because they're north of a $2 favorite. The total's at 9, so it's probably going to be 5.5 plus money, or maybe if you get a 5 like flat. Let me double check here.
Let me look. Let's look at this real quick. So White Sox team.
Yeah, it's gonna be 5.5 around -110.
All right. So White Sox versus starting righties. 5.3. And we go. What are they? A dog 190. Damn. All right. So and line greater than equal to, let's say 150 here. So heavy dogs. So 6-36. That's what I'm looking for right there. Man, it's gotta be a run line. I don't care how bad Bobby Miller has been. Like, that shit's crazy, dude. There's no way.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's gonna be either. I think Toasty mentioned as well. You would take the -1 or you take -1.5. But even the -1.5, like today's at around -130, -135 in that neighborhood.
There's no damn way. It's got to be Dodgers run line.
And we mentioned 8 out of the 9 home starts they've lost by 2 or more runs. The only one that they covered was because they won outright.
Yeah, and it's not total's at 9.5, so right.
9 -120, so it could get to 9.5.
Okay. Greater than or equal to 9. Yeah, dude. It's got to be the run line for me. I probably will do the full game though, not the first 5. First 5 would still be juiced, right? Heavily. Yeah. Dodgers run line. I'm taking it. Dodgers run line. Twins. Did we talk Mariners yet? No, right?
No, not Mariners. No.
You got a hard out at all?
No, I don't.
Okay, let's do because I want to get onto these games here. There's Twins, Mariners, and Nationals. Twins, Mariners, and Nationals. Let's try to dive into those quickly. All right, so Mariners here. Mariners have the edge with the bullpen mainly.
Mm-hmm.
They've been on the road though a lot. Jesus. They gave up the win yesterday. Mariners gave up that win yesterday late. Castillo's kind of been struggling, coming off a bad start here against Cleveland. Little has, or Littell, whatever you want to call it, coming off a pretty decent start here. Pitched 5 innings. All right, so the splits, first 5, man, both of these guys not been doing great at all. If we look at Rays versus starting righties, as a home dog, have yet to win a game in the last 30 days. Let's look at that full season, actually. All right, so 1-7 on the season. And look at them on the first 5 versus starting righties, too. So maybe a look towards Mariners' first 5. All right, let's keep going. So stats for 30 days.
And Brian Wu left the game early yesterday as well with that hamstring.
So the bullpen, yeah. So the bullpen
probably. So I think you probably want to take maybe first 5 Mariners, or if you're a player prop better, maybe like over on Castillo's outs. Out.
Oh, because they're gonna push him, right? They're gonna push him to go higher.
Yeah.
Makes sense. And he is, he's up there with strikeouts, and then Rays do strike out at a high rate. Opposite for the Mariners. I mean, they struggle against pitchers who strike out at a high rate, but he's in the bottom half of the league as far as Ks per 9. So that might be a plus for the Mariners here. Starting pitcher edge to Castillo slightly. And then you kind of talked about the bullpen. They're pretty even from the bullpen perspective, but like you said, they could be taxed a little bit. Is there enough to get on the Mariners?
Well, let me see what the first 5 is for them.
Toast missing Fairbanks. Interesting. Okay.
First 5 is minus 130 on the money line for the Mariners.
That's not bad at all.
Minus half is plus 105.
I'll probably do the money line, if anything. Let me go back to full season real quick. Full season stats. 1-7. As a dog. Yeah, I think I'll focus in on that first 5. First 5. Yeah, I think that's what I'll do. First 5 Mariners. First 5. All right, let's go to Nationals. Versus Padres. Padres been, man, they're so inconsistent, Padres. All right, so Nationals, they have the edge here from the bullpen perspective. Mackenzie Gore versus Mazur, I guess you want to call that. They've been on the road. So Nationals been on the road for a bit. Padres been at home for quite a bit here. Their offense has been pretty good. It's just their pitching kind of giving it up a little bit. Last 5 starts, Gore, he's been kind of inconsistent too, coming off of a bad start. But he does, it seems like he bounces back pretty well when he doesn't have a good start. He's been consistent other than this right here. But he doesn't go far. He doesn't go that deep. It doesn't look like.
Yeah, that's the That's the down part about Mackenzie Gore.
All right. So let's look at last 30.
What the hell?
All right. So last 30 here. Look at Padres as a home favorite, 6-1 straight up. 5-1-1 as a home in the first 5
Against lefties, yeah.
against lefties. Yeah. So they're hitting them pretty well. It's them as a road dog that kind of kills their record. All right, so looking at the bats, man, definitely an edge to the Padres. Starting pitcher to Gore. Look at that significant difference though.
Mm-hmm.
Damn. And then the bullpen, I would say it's kind of even from a bullpen perspective, but the rating system gave it a big number. What does this say? What does this tell you?
It's the fact that you also mentioned that it's the Padres are just so inconsistent. Like last night, they pretty much stole it. But we had Patrick Corbin on the mound yesterday as well, right? For the Nationals. I know he gave up a few runs early, but the fact that the Nationals have been pretty good on the road as well, compared to their home numbers. But I mean, I don't know how much you put in motivation as a factor here for Mackenzie Gore. I think he was part of that trade for Juan Soto, if I'm not mistaken. Going from the Padres to the Nationals, but it's Nationals first 5 or nothing for me.
Nationals first 5. Why not the full game?
I want to see how many innings did the bullpen come in yesterday. I want to say that he went 6 innings yesterday. Did Patrick Corbin? Let me double check.
Last night was lucky, yeah. That's pretty much what you just said, man.
Yeah. Let's see. Actually, he went 7 innings. So, I mean, yeah, then I couldn't talk you off the full game for Nationals as well, because Corbin went 7 innings yesterday. And then you had the bullpen with 3 guys that went, what's that, about a 2 2/3 of an inning.
Got it. Okay.
So you probably have one guy that's not available tonight for their bullpen. Other than that, everybody should be a go for this Nationals bullpen.
All right. Yeah. I'm going to do, I think I'm going to get there with Nationals full game then. Because Nationals full game. Damn, I feel late though because the line shifted so much.
The line has moved, significantly.
Yeah. All right, so let's move. I got one more. What was the last one? Twins.
You said Twins, right?
Yeah. Minnesota. All right, D-back. So Joe Ryan. I said John Ryan. Joe Ryan. And then Brandon. Remember that clip? That clip with me and John Ryan. The one.
Yeah.
Show. Man, that guy. All right, so Twins, definitely the edge to the Twins there. We got a couple of baller systems on the Twins too. Okay, so let's look at the last 5 starts.
Brandon Pfaadt starting for
yeah. So he's been pretty consistent last 3 starts. Kind of struggled there against Houston. Then they let him go. That must have been like late in his outing. All right, so he gets pretty far too, 6 and 7 innings, pretty consistently there. Brandon, look at all those walks. He's giving it up. Had one good start here against the Angels. All right, so let's look at last 30 splits. Man, both of these guys, look at this. Just reds all over the place. Twins versus right-handed pitchers, road favorite. Why are they? Are they so heavy? Are they Minnesota -1? It's not even that heavy. All right, so
these are D-backs first 5.
D-backs first 5? Who said that?
Toasty.
All right, so batting matchup. Edge here to the Twins. Starting pitchers. seems kind of even because we could potentially see negative regression from Ryan. Okay. And then bullpen to the Twins. So that's probably why the rating system likes them is really the bats and the bullpen here. That's a pretty big advantage from the bullpen perspective, right? I would think.
Yeah,
that's probably why.
Brandon Pfaadt's been pretty good as well.
I think that's why Toast focused in on the first 5 than the full game because he's expecting them to struggle here. Man, it seems like. Did you look into this one at all? Or what are your thoughts on
this one? I haven't looked into.
Oh, okay.
Brandon Pfaadt's been a guy that I've wanted to fade when he's pitching at home because he just has not been very good. But this season, I mean, you take a look at his home and road splits. He's been really good at Chase Field in Arizona compared to his road starts.
Mm-hmm. All right, so let's look at him at home real quick. That's a lot of runs. Over 9 runs. Giving up over 2 runs in the first 5. And he's not a dog often. What about, let's just say dog. So he doesn't win when he's a dog.
Yeah.
2 and 5. But it happens afterwards. Look at that. So on average, 2.57 in the first 5.
The bullpen's giving it up.
The bullpen's giving it up. Yeah. I think I could get there with Twins on the full game. Money line. Let's do Twins.
MLB needs to have those like NBA does, like halftime full game. That's
the double results or whatever.
Yeah.
Road favorite, 12 and 6 on the full game. Look at that first 5. Yeah, it all happens afterwards.
Yeah.
Look at this. Even this says fade them in the first 5, got them in the full game.
Mm-hmm.
Let me look down here. All right. Full game. Damn, we went through a lot. All right, we went through a lot there. We had to have something.
Yeah, I think we
solid.
went through at least half of the card at least.
Yeah, I think so. That's what happens when I don't cap the games. I just want to go through it live here. Just kind of go through the whole thought process and everything. All right, so let's get to the top looks. Before we get there, actually, gotta talk about moneyballer.com, the site that we use primarily through the show here. You can see all the stats, all the trends that it pops up with. We have over 800 active users now. After just 2 months. So man, it's been amazing. I think Zach, one of our colleagues, one of the guys we started the website with, he was like, man, I'd be surprised if we have 200 by August, and we're well past that. So it's been amazing. Hopefully everybody who's been using the website enjoys it, and we're just continuing to make it better. WNBA, I think we've been talking about it for a while, but there's still a few glitches with the WNBA shift, but that should be within the next week. We have a whole team meeting tomorrow to dive into the WNBA page, and that's going to be hopefully you guys will see the change within the next couple of days. But MLB has been very solid. Obviously, we do use Give Me the Dog to pull like some advanced queries, but at some point, Give Me the Dog. Hopefully, we'll be able to do that stuff within the website as well, and that's going to be next level type stuff. Definitely check out the site. Through August is August is the last month for free basic access, and then it goes to paid service. But hopefully, you guys see value in the moneyballer.com. Obviously, right here, you could tell we could dive into a whole game and see a whole bunch of stuff that could help us make better betting decisions. All right. With that said, let's get to the top licks. Munaf, let's go with you first, and then that gives me time to kind of think about what I want to say for my top lick.
Yeah, I think we took the first game. I think we talked about the Braves and the Cardinals first 5 under 4.5. I mean, we talked about how great Ronaldo Lopez has been through the entirety of the season, especially within those first 5 innings. And like I mentioned, he's been one of the best pitchers for the Braves thus far this season. I know they've been missing Spencer Strider, but him and Chris Sale have really held down that pitching rotation for them. His road games in particular, 5-0-1 towards the under, a perfect 6-0 to the under within the first 5 innings. And you just take a look at his road starts, combined 1.83 runs scored. So I'm getting a 4.5 right now. It's right there at -110. That's going to be my top look here. Let's go with another under first 5. Braves, Cardinals, first 5 under 4.5.
Under 4.5. Love it. Yeah, I'm going to rock with you on that one. I was initially looking towards the Braves in that one, but I think that first 500 makes a lot more sense to me. All right, so looking at everything that we talked about today, when it goes back to WNBA, that one to me, the top look there would be the Lynx Liberty under. I think both defenses show up here. I think the total is going in the wrong direction, so that's giving us a little bit more value. Like I said, the total opened at 158, and we're seeing 165 now. That's just such a huge shift in the total to the point where you got to look towards the under at this point. And it's a championship game, and we know these games they take each possession. They don't take them lightly, and defense shows up, slower pace, all that stuff points to the under. And when it comes to baseball, like I said, I'm gonna ride with you on that Braves Cardinals under first 5. But I think out of all the other ones that we talked about, I think that Dodgers run line is
I like that
the
too.
other one that I like a lot. Is the Dodgers run line -1.5. We showed all the numbers, we talked about all the stats and the trends. So so those will be my top 2 looks for today. One in the WNBA, one in the MLB. All right, with that said, guys, thanks for all of those who tuned in. Shout out to everyone on Twitter as well. Make sure you guys repost the video, subscribe, like it, do all that stuff. And I did not say Yankees run line. I'm sorry, man. But yeah, thanks to everyone who tuned in. Make sure you guys hit that like, subscribe button so you guys don't miss the show. And as always, I have to end the show like this. Whether you fade us or follow us, it is on you to make that call. Good luck with all your actions. Till next time, peace.